Yeah.
I'm Lindy Leggett. I came to see Dr El-Essawy 2 years ago, I think it would have been now, on the recommendation that I had an awful lot of mercury in my body, and that was caused by having dodgy metal fillings put in my teeth when I was a child living in Zimbabwe. So some of the symptoms I had no idea about the mercury poisoning caused, and it was only after seeing Hisham that it became apparent that I was certainly suffering from mercury poisoning, in as much as PMT, skin problems, etc., etc. Now, as an average ordinary person who does a lot of freelance training and sees people all the time, as this is what I do for fun and for a living, is freelance training, I was keen to get this rectified, because obviously my state of mind is imperative to my job, especially my appearance too, and if it can mean a clearer skin and no eczema and brighter teeth, what a pleasure. So that's what brought me here.
Okay, when you came in August 2002, your main problem was PMT, yeah?
Yeah, I would say.
How bad was that?
Pretty awful. I'm probably not the best person to ask about that. My husband would be a better person to ask as to how bad it was, because I didn't realize it was bad until someone pointed it out and said...
Did you have to sleep out in the PMT?
In the PMT lounge, yes. But at times, I tell you, I honestly had no idea until he kind of said, "Who have you become? At this time of the month, you become someone else." Of course, I denied it at the time, but looking back and knowing and seeing the difference, or feeling the difference rather, you can't really see it, you can feel the difference, then certainly now he gets PMT and I don't. So.
Your PMT has improved. I mean, we are now March 2004. So, how much improvement have you experienced with the PMT?
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Your second problem was tiredness.
Yes.
Can you describe that to me?
I seem to remember that I do a lot of sport anyway, but there's a tiredness from sport and there's a tiredness from just tiredness, and I would find that I was a lot more tired, not from the sporting activity, but from just
during the day.
I would just
at the end of the day you feel drained and things.
Feel drained. I mean, training certainly drains because you're in front of people giving your energy a lot. That's draining too. But there's a difference of being tired when you're not training, and you can feel that difference, and when you're not training in a gym or running or whatever.
Yeah.
So that.
And of course, when you're training, you're sweating, and you're really getting rid of some of the toxins. So you should get a little better with training and with sweating and so on.
That's why there's a different feeling from tiredness from running and cycling, etc.
You had skin spots and eczema. Tell me about the eczema.
Eczema I used to get on the back of my leg, especially when I go to hot climates. Don't know why, but it brings it out. Maybe it's the dryness of the air, or
because it goes out in the sweat.
And
it's concentrated on the skin.
There you go. So I used to get it at the back
of my legs. Talk about the mercury, of course.
Yes. I used to get it on my arms, and it went from my arms to the back of my legs, and used to just hang out there. And when I returned from hot climates, or when summer passed, there would just be a sort of dry skin irritation. That's gone now.
Gone how much percent? 100%?
100% gone.
Are you convinced in your mind that the eczema was related to the mercury poisoning, the amalgam fillings? Yeah,
only because of the difference in what was and what is now. It's just, there's no itchiness at all. Even if there's no spots, eczema spots, or there's just no even itch there now. It's gone. There's nothing on my arms.
My friend, who is a consultant dermatologist, an eminent one, he thinks this is absolutely, totally rubbish, that there is any relationship between amalgam fillings or mercury poisoning and skin eczema or spots or anything like that. What would you say to my friend?
I wish he had seen the state of my legs when I was in Africa. I would have said about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. The eczema was so bad that I had to, it just oozed all the time. I had to be really careful of the clothes I wore because the clothing would stick to the back of it, which looked hideous. It looked awful. Well, that's gone now.
He would say that it might be some other reason that you lost your eczema.
I'm sure he would. I'm sure you could find.
But what would you say?
I would say.
Has there anything changed in you apart from the amalgam fillings being removed?
I would say that my diet's changed, but gone back to what it was. So, in fact, I haven't changed that much at all. Really, I've tried all sorts of things, but what is fundamentally different is that I don't have mercury in me anymore.
That's the only difference.
I don't have eczema anymore either.
So you would say that
I would say that it has to be because diet.
Amalgam out, eczema gone?
Yes.
Direct relationship?
Yes.
He would be interested. I hope he was convinced. Difficult to convince though. You also told me about your concentration, that it was not up to scratch. It was not...
The best way...
How relevant was that in your job at that time?
Pretty relevant. Relevant. Because I was working in a very fast-paced, blue-chip environment where you had to know what you were talking about because you were selling it on to other fast-paced, dynamic people. So concentration was fundamental part of the job, really. So you could crack it and get on. And struggling from that made my job a lot harder. Although it also made it longer because you were taking that much more time to understand it all. And certainly without the mercury, it is exactly like you take a filter away. It's like your brain is clearer, your mind is that much clearer, that much more open.
Right. And can you think of anything that may have influenced that, may have affected that, may have produced clarity of mind that happened, that could be the reason for your clarity now, rather than the amalgam removal?
No.
You think there's a direct relationship between them? You think it's a cause and effect relationship?
I think that the mercury certainly added to it, and only from experience of coming in for a checkup not long ago and having a higher count than usual mercury count, and then rinsing out with the detox, and the feeling in your head, just the difference is fundamental, because you come in with a sort of filtered
a little fog
around your head and wondering how you managed to get out of bed. No, it's not that bad, but the fog just goes, and when the fog goes, because you've detoxed your mouth and there's no more mercury, I mean, how much more evidence do you want?
You're referring to the heavy metal detox that we use here.
Yes.
Called Environ.
Environ, yes.
Which is proven to you and me and to other people that it actually removes the mercury from the mouth.
Yes.
Yeah? And you came here recently with a reading of 30-something, was it?
Yes, that's right.
And what we did is we gave you 60 drops in a 10 milliliter of water.
Yes.
Of that detox called Environ, and you rinsed with it. We've taken the measurement just before the rinsing. That was 30-something, 31 I think, wasn't
yes.
it? And then you've rinsed for 3 minutes, and we've taken the measurement again with the mercury vapor analyzer that we have, and the reading was 0.
0.
And you felt immediately...
Immediately, it was, the fog had gone.
Yeah. So that is a direct relationship between the...
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
By the way, I have no idea about the mechanism of this happening. I have no idea how it happens, but I have seen it in literally everyone who was in your situation, who has a bit of mercury, and then we detox, and immediately they say, that's funny, my brain feels clearer. Okay, you also had lack of interest as one of your complaints. Can you describe that for me?
That was...
You had a high-flying job at the time.
I had a high-flying job, yeah.
And yet you had lack of interest.
Which is a shame, really, because it was a pretty good job. I just couldn't get my head around it, and if there was a mercury fog around it, then that's a lot to do with it, absolutely. However, as motivated as I teach motivation, I still struggled to interest myself in it, never mind.
So the motivator was not motivated.
Was demotivated.
And how different is that now for you?
Oh, very different.
How much is the improvement? Would you put a percentage on it?
I would definitely say 100% improvement.
That's great. You also mentioned difficulty in getting warm in cold weather.
Yes.
Can you describe that for me?
Yes. I have, as I call it, thin African blood, because I'm from those Zimbabwe and feel the cold a lot in the UK. I have to have the central heating on a lot, or else be wearing big jumpers, as I've got my coat on now. But my hands and my feet, more than anything, used to feel the cold more than anything. And compared to my husband, or compared with my husband, I still feel a little bit, but not nearly as, I don't nearly wrap myself up as much as I used to. I can tolerate it more. So whilst he puts the cold fan on in the car and I've got my coat on, I'm not nearly as shaky as I used to be.
So you would say this is back to your normal, which was aggravated by the effect of the mercury on your blood vessels, really.
Yeah, I had no idea that mercury could do that. I didn't no idea of that sort of symptom.
Yeah. Are you absolutely clear in your mind that the improvement in your health is due to the amalgam removal and nothing else?
Yeah, without a doubt. As I said, I've tried changing my diet. I've done water detoxes. I've given up alcohol. I've even changed my job.
That's before the removal of the amalgam.
That's before. And whilst it was happening, and I've gone complete loop round, and I'm back to where I was, and I feel a lot better than I used to be in the same point, and that's since I've had all the mercury taken out. So. Yeah, absolutely.
So the relationship is direct, cause and effect, yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you very much. Continue to get better in every sphere. Thank you.